Reacher Season 3 Episodes 1 to 3 Recap. Maybe Anthony Michael Hall will be the good kind of bad guy. Reacher has finally returned for its third season on Prime Video, and as always, trouble has once again found the show's titular character, Jack Reacher Alan Ritchson. Ever the Good Samaritan, mere moments into Season 3, Reacher saves a college kid named Richard Beck Johnny Berchtold from being kidnapped. It would seem he's always in the right place at the right time for these sorts of things. Weird how that always happens. However, while saving Richard, Reacher accidentally kills a cop, which should have been the first clue that told me something was amiss. He isn't the type of person who makes those mistakes. Nor is he the kind of person who would then go into hiding for such an action. Considering Reacher stumbled upon such a serious situation, and then responded so uncharacteristically when the dust settled, it's clear I was missing a key element about what was really going on, but I digress for now. Rather quickly, Richard convinces Reacher to take him home where his rich father, Zachary Beck Anthony Michael Hall, a rug importer, can repay Reacher for saving his life. However, upon arriving at the compound, Reacher finds he'll now be working for Beck and his nefarious operation. He subsequently endures a series of tests to ensure he doesn't have some sort of ulterior motive, wink wink. He might have saved Richard, but that doesn't mean Beck trusts him, at least not yet. He obviously passes the aforementioned tests before he's escorted to a room in the house where he'll be staying indefinitely. After checking the space for bugs, not the critter kind, he pulls a secret phone from the heel of his boot and makes a phone call. "I'm in," he says before the title screen appears in a very dramatic yet satisfying fashion. What a fool I was to believe Reacher might be doing something so egregious. With one of the best opening twists of the series to date, clearly, everything is unfolding just as Reacher planned. With the first 3 episodes of Season 3 dropping simultaneously, it's obvious the latest season of Reacher might be the best one yet. As it turns out, the attempted kidnapping of Richard at the start of Season 3 was staged by Reacher and a few DEA agents. He never killed a cop. It was all faked. After popping up on Agent Susan Duffy's Sonia Cassidy radar following his inquiry of an old foe named Francis Xavier Quinn Bryant, Reacher and the DEA agents discovered their converging interests. As a result, they devised a plan that would put Reacher directly in the middle of Beck's operation. With one of Duffy's informants, Teresa Storm Steenson, already missing, Reacher is tasked with finding her while he searches for information about Quinn and his dealings with Beck. As usual, however, everything they're doing is outside the official purview of the DEA. Go figure. As such, the only backup they have is each other, although that's never held Reacher back before. Why would it now? While Beck is certainly a major player, he isn't calling the shots. The man at the top of the food chain is named Julius McCabe, who may or may not actually be Quinn if Duffy's assumptions prove correct. However, for the time being, McCabe is still just a faceless name, who essentially hijacked the logistics of Beck's rug import business to fulfill his own nefarious dealings. Now, he runs every aspect of their lives, including where Richard went to college. Beck might appear to be in control, but McCabe is actually the one in charge of everything. Reacher Season 3 Episodes 1 to 3 Recap. Maybe Anthony Michael Hall will be the good kind of bad guy. Jack Reacher is back, and he hasn't missed a beat. The third season kicks off with our favorite hulking drifter doing what he does best, cracking skulls, solving mysteries, and walking around like a man who knows no fear. The first 3 episodes waste no time throwing us into the thick of it, reintroducing Reacher's moral code of steel, his disdain for bureaucracy, and his knack for sniffing out danger like a bloodhound with a vendetta. We open with Reacher, once again traveling light, just a toothbrush in his pocket and justice on his mind. He's pulled into a covert military operation involving an old Special Investigations unit from his MP days. The mission? Uncover who's behind a string of mysterious disappearances tied to an elite private security firm. That's where things get juicy. Enter Anthony Michael Hall as Shane Langston, a retired colonel turned CEO of the ominously named New Age Strategies, which is about as shady as it sounds. Langston is polished, composed, and immediately suspicious. Hall plays him with a slick confidence that suggests he might just be a bureaucratic thorn in Reacher's side, or something much worse. What makes Hall's portrayal so fun to watch is how measured it is. He's not twirling a mustache or ordering henchmen around with a cartoonish sneer. No, Langston is methodical, smart, and perhaps, just perhaps, capable of doing the wrong things for the right reasons. That ambiguity is part of what sets these early episodes apart from the black and white moral lines of previous seasons. Maybe Langston isn't your run-of-the-mill villain. Maybe he's the good kind of bad guy. Or maybe he's just hiding his true nature under layers of strategic charm. By episode 2, the plot thickens like stew in a pressure cooker. Reacher reunites with some former team members, France's Neagley Maria Sten, the ever-capable and fiercely loyal comrade, and Dixon's Serena Swan, whose sharp instincts and subtle tension with Reacher hint at unfinished business. The chemistry between the trio gives the season a solid emotional anchor amidst the bone-crunching action. Together, they begin digging into Langston's empire. And surprise, surprise, beneath the corporate sheen lies a network of mercenaries, shady contracts, and possibly war crimes. Langston, for his part, remains cool as a cucumber, denying everything with a smile. Is he orchestrating the chaos, or just cleaning up someone else's mess? Reacher doesn't buy the Innocence Act, but even he seems unsure of Langston's endgame. Episode 3 dials up the intensity. After a narrow escape from an ambush, Reacher and his team realize they're not just facing corruption, they're hunting a ghost. Someone inside the system is tipping off Langston's people. This sends Reacher into full-on predator mode, and when he starts connecting dots with the precision of a master tactician, it's only a matter of time before the bodies start dropping. What's striking about these early episodes is how the show balances its hard-hitting action with slow-burning intrigue. There are plenty of moments where Reacher's fists do the talking. Don't worry, no one gets out of a Reacher fight without losing teeth. But there's also a careful layering of suspense. We're not just watching a brawl, we're watching a chess match, and Langston might just be the only guy who can play at Reacher's level. Visually, the season keeps its gritty tone with moody lighting and claustrophobic urban backdrops. The fight choreography remains brutal and efficient, showcasing Alan Ritchson's intimidating presence as a one-man wrecking crew. But it's not all bruises and broken ribs. There are flashes of humor and humanity, especially in Reacher's deadpan one-liners and the warm camaraderie with his team. Perhaps the most intriguing element so far is the psychological tension between Reacher and Langston. There's a grudging respect there. Both men are military-born, shaped by war, and driven by codes. But while Reacher's code is unwavering, Langston seems flexible. That contrast fuels the drama and raises a compelling question. What happens when two men who believe they're doing the right thing end up on opposite sides? By the end of episode 3, we still don't have all the answers. But what we do have is the sense that this season is building toward a confrontation that's more than just physical. It's a moral showdown, and Hall's performance keeps us guessing whether Langston is a redeemable anti-hero or a devil in disguise. So far, Season 3 of Reacher is off to a thrilling start. It's everything fans love: punchy dialogue, mystery, high-stakes action, but with a new layer of psychological depth. Anthony Michael Hall adds a welcome wildcard into the mix, a charismatic cipher who might just force Reacher to question his own methods. Or more likely, he'll just get punched really hard in episode 4. Either way, we're here for it. Let me know if you want a version with more humor, analysis, or extra snark. More likely, he'll just get punched really hard in episode 4. Either way, we're here for it.